I wholeheartedly agree with everything that you just said. And, what I have to add to that is many of the people that I know who do smoke marijuana, I think would even agree with you to some degree in recognizing that the use of marijuana is usually used as a form of disassociation from, and a lot of my friends who are highly intellectual, very intelligent in their head a lot will say, I use it to calm down in the evening so that I can start to settle down and relax. Otherwise, I'm in my head and I'm up until 3 a.m. being creative and doing things, right? And so it's almost as though they're using it as a form of control over ADHD or something. And what we do recognize of marijuana, when it became medical grade, it was used for people with cancer to help disassociate from the pain that they were feeling, the nausea from going through chemotherapy. It's always been a plant used to dissociate and to distract rather than to give, such as ayahuasca is very much a plant that is giving and pouring into you, versus marijuana is to distract and pull away. And something that I would like to bring to the viewer's attention who may disagree with this is swap out. So the amount of times that you're consuming the marijuana per day, swap that out for alcohol. If you were consuming alcohol at the rate at which you consume marijuana, you would be considered an alcoholic. So why is it not the same for the amount of consumption regarding marijuana? And alcohol is very much disassociating, burying, numbing yourself, removing you from the root. And when I came out of my ayahuasca ceremony, I had absolutely no interest in touching alcohol again. It wasn't even really a cognitive choice. It wasn't something I had to think about. I just was repulsed by it. And that's a pretty big statement because my former life, I was a sommelier and wine director for many years. And so I made my living off of
Mm.
working with some of the most beautiful wines in the world, similar to our dear friend Jennifer Estevez, who also transitioned away from it. And so as I started working with the plant, I became more and more energetically repulsed by things that were pulling me away from myself. And I recognized that alcohol through my meditation was numbing my ability to be very sensitive to self and to receive the messages that were meant for me to receive and to really focus on the healing that I needed to heal. And so with my clients that are trying to do the inner work, the first thing that I ask them is to stop their consumption of alcohol. And then the second thing that I ask them is to remove themselves off of dating sites. And then we move forward. So I 100% agree with you on this. And thank you for sharing. It's big. It takes a lot to be the voice that goes against the norm or to be the unpopular voice. And I also think it's avant-garde, and that you're just maybe a few years to a decade ahead of the consciousness that will become more mainstream of recognizing you're saying to be very true.